That is right, I am not pulling for Caesar. But maybe you should. So right now, I guarantee you I've got two different groups of people watching this video right now. You've got the Zenless freaks that are going to be like, what do you mean you're not pulling for Caesar? Why? And I'll get to that in a second. But for those of you that are maybe new to Zenless and maybe not sure who you should be summoning for, I kind of want to just go over what Caesar does in my own kind of terms, and also a place where you can find out all about the characters. I'll show you that in a second as well, to kind of give you guys my take on whether or not you should pull for Caesar, and, you know, just give you all the facts so that you can make up your own mind. So let's just get into it, shall we? So, we have Pridwin. Now, if you don't know Pridwin is basically the hub for all things gacha guides. So there's a Star Rail section, there's I think there's a Wuthering section, there's Zenless section, and basically what it does is it has all of the characters, basically all of their kits, all of their builds, and as you can see here, you got review, build, shield, defense, rotation, teams, and calculations. Now, we're not going to go through all of this because, you know, I feel like you don't need to know all of this to determine whether or not you want to pull for Caesar, but I do think it's worth kind of just going over some of the very key elements of Caesar's kit and Caesar's build to determine whether or not you should be going for her. Basically, in the simplest terms, you know, when Caesar activates her EX special attack, so on controller, this button, or I think it's E on your keyboard. I could be wrong, I don't play this game on keyboard, so I don't know. Parry, counter, chain attack, ultimate, or triggers EX special attack. So the triggers EX special attack, overpowered shield bash, which we'll get onto in a second. She buffs the entire team with a radiant Aegis shield, so just remove that. Just remove the terminology. She just gives the entire team a shield equal to 300% of her base impact plus 300. It lasts for 90 seconds and is equipped by the on-field character. And it's also shared along the team. Also with this shield, you get anti-interrupt, which just means, you know, you can get your combos off without getting hit potentially. And their attack is increased by 40. And even after the shield expires, you get an additional 5 seconds. So you get the shield for 90, but you get the anti-interrupt and the attack for 95 seconds. So that's already really, really good, alright? It tells you that you want to build up her impact, which makes sense from what we know about shield characters. So basically, when it comes to shield characters, they are kind of like a different version of stun units. They focus more on the shields and the buffs, but they still have impact as quite a big part of their kit. You know, Ben requires quite a bit of impact, and now Caesar does too to make her kit work. So, worth kind of realizing that a lot of shield characters at the moment require impact to kind of work fully. But now I want to get into our additional ability, which I think is absolutely bulk. So if you like Caesar, this will be good for you. When another character in your squad can activate defensive assist or shares the same faction, when Caesar activates perfect block, retaliation, defensive assist, or basic attack dead end, which we'll get onto in a second. Basically, if she blocks, retaliates, or is a part of a defensive assist, then she applies a debuff to enemies with a 7-meter radius. I think that's meter, it says 7M, so I'm going to assume, yeah. Increasing the damage they take from all teammates by 25% for 30 seconds. She has a 25% defense shred, basically. I don't know if that's exactly how you would calculate that, but basically you're doing 25% more damage for 30 seconds. You add that onto our buffs, not only are you doing 40 more attack, which, you know, it's more damage, you're also doing 25% more damage if she comes in and does an assist. And obviously that goes up the more her core skill goes up. So, yeah, if you can get her to 7, she's bulked. Look at that. Attack 1,000, 1,400% of her base impact plus another 1,400. It's nuts out here, right? Like, Caesar's great. Caesar is very, very good. But let's have a quick little look. So we are looking for specifically overpowered shield bash. If Caesar is hit by an enemy at the beginning of the skill activation, or an interrupt is triggered with a shield strike, it will trigger perfect block, negating incoming damage once and recovering the energy used to activate the skill. Okay, and when the skill is activated through perfect block or retaliation, perfect block cannot be triggered again. Basically, you want to be using parry counter, and then with enough energy, you'll be able to use this. And with that, you'll be able to use this. But you're already using the X special parry counter anyway. So, you know, you're kind of using both, I guess. And then the basic dead end. When there are sufficient assist points, you can hold, consume 1 assist point to toss the shield and attack nearby enemies. Fair, okay, cool. So very, very simple stuff to activate, really, as well. It's just a lot of jargon, but basically, if you have enough skill or enough skill energy saved up, then you can use her big skill, and boom, you have the shield, and then you also have the buff for 95 seconds. And if you use her basic with an assist point, well, then you get access to the 25% defense shred from the looks of things. So it is a very, very good build, right? Let's have a quick little look at teams, because I feel like that's also another big point. If you want to build teams, seems as though there are 2. I wouldn't read into this too much. Personally, I really wouldn't, just because, you know, the game is ever changing, people are going to find stuff, but this does seem to be quite right. Obviously, Jane Doe is really, really good, so, you know, naturally, you want to kind of be using the best units with Jane Doe, because Jane Doe's great. Seth's also really, really good. Obviously, you know, if you're running Lucy and Caesar and you're getting the Sons of Caledon, you've got the physical there with Jane Doe and Caesar. This is basically, I think, just to get the best amount of buffs from everybody. That's probably why these are like the 2 teams, but obviously we'll see as time goes on. I feel like there's probably going to be a Burnice, Caesar, Lucy team. I might be wrong on that one. There might be a different team, I don't know, but I feel like Burnice and Caesar might work quite well together. We will see as time goes on. But honestly, do I think you should go for Caesar? I think if you're looking for a good defense unit that just does a lot that does a lot of support as well as giving shield, then I definitely think you should pick up Caesar. However, let's talk about why I'm not going for Caesar, because I feel like a lot of you have already written your arguments about, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're hyping her up and then you're not getting her. Look, alright, I always say this. Whilst there is a lot of meta reasons and a lot of kit reasons to pull for Caesar, if you do not like Caesar as a character, then you should not force yourself to summon for Caesar just because she is good. Alright? I think Caesar is an okay character. I think her and the story was really, really cool. She won me over a little bit, as I said in my spoiler-free review. But I have bigger fish to fry in the form of a guarantee, and I prefer Burnice. So we're going to be going for Burnice. It's really that simple. I think Zenless is really good at making me want reruns already, because I want Xingyi at some point when she comes back, and I might go for Caesar when she comes back, but we will see on that one. But it really is just as simple as, like, look, I'm not really playing this game to be a sweaty meta guy. I'm really not. I don't really play any of the games to be a sweaty meta guy, to be honest. I mean, I'm just kind of at the point now where I'm just enjoying the games and pulling the characters I want to. I mean, hell, you guys probably saw it, or if you haven't, I pulled for Topaz whilst Ling's show was out. Why not, you know? I really don't care at this point. I'm just building the accounts the way I want to build them. I'm pulling the characters I want, and then the characters I want to make the teams, well, you know, to build the teams around the characters I want, which kind of works for Burnice because she looks like she's really going to want Jane Doe. I have Jane Doe, she was really, really cool, so I said, okay, let's go for her as well anyways. So, yeah, you know, it really just boils down to the thing I've been saying a lot on this channel, which is just, I'm pulling the characters that I want, not because they're broken. Maybe you share that same sentiment, so, you know, I'll even say it. Should you pull for Caesar? If you want Caesar, go for her, okay? Even if she wasn't balked, if you really, really like Caesar, you should pull for Caesar. If you want a balked unit, it's probably best to go for Caesar right now. I don't want to throw out terms like future-proof and all of that, but she does seem like she's very, very good and is probably worth the investment if you want a good defense unit. I don't see there being anybody that's going to come in and do what Caesar does at a moderate step up. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Are you pulling for Caesar? Should I be pulling for Caesar? I'm not going to, but you guys can lecture me on why I should be pulling for Caesar if you really, really feel that way. But yeah, no, let me know, and yeah, see ya.